Friends, the year is 2025, and the world watches in horror. The geopolitical landscape has shifted dramatically, and the once unthinkable is now a looming reality. The international community is on edge, and the tension is palpable. A threat looms over our neighbors to the north. This isn't just any threat, it's a calculated move that could alter the course of history. Our once reliable ally, our biggest trading partner, the brave nation of Canada, faces a crisis. This crisis isn't born out of natural disaster or economic downturn, but from a political maneuver that has caught everyone off guard. The source of this crisis? None other than former President Donald J. Trump. A man who has never shied away from controversy, Trump is now at the center of a storm that threatens to engulf Canada. His weapon of choice? Not just tweets this time, folks. While his social media presence remains strong, his ambitions have grown far beyond the digital realm. Trump has set his sights on annexing Canada. This isn't a mere political stunt, it's a serious proposition that has sent shockwaves through both nations. You heard that right. The man who once called himself a very stable genius wants to add Canada to his real estate portfolio. His audacity knows no bounds, and his plans are as grandiose as they are alarming. He started subtly, questioning why the US bothers subsidizing Canada. These comments were initially dismissed as typical Trump rhetoric, but they were the seeds of a much larger scheme. He hinted that many Canadians secretly yearned to be the 51st state. Then, the mask slipped. His true intentions became clear, and the world watched in disbelief. He spoke openly about using economic force to bring Canada under his control. This wasn't just idle talk, it was a declaration of intent that sent ripples through the global economy. He even claimed he had a private conversation with Prime Minister Trudeau. According to Trump, Trudeau confessed that Canada would crumble without US support. Supposedly, Trudeau confessed that Canada would crumble without US support. This claim, of course, is highly dubious and has been met with strong denials from Canadian officials. This is outrageous, of course. It's Donald Trump, for crying out loud. His history of making outlandish statements is well documented, but this time the stakes are incredibly high. But folks, we can't ignore his words. We've seen how his rhetoric can translate into action, and the consequences can be far-reaching. We've seen this playbook before. Trump thrives on chaos. He uses it as a tool to destabilize and then swoop in with his own solutions, often to the detriment of those involved. He loves to exploit weakness. Any sign of vulnerability is an opportunity for him to advance his agenda, and right now, Canada is in his crosshairs. The implications of this are profound, not just for Canada, but for the entire world. We need to take this threat seriously. The future of our two nations may depend on it. The international community must come together to address this unprecedented situation. The future of our two nations may depend on it. The bonds of friendship and cooperation that have defined our relationship with Canada are at stake. We must act now to preserve the peace and stability that we have long enjoyed. Prime Minister Trudeau, a beacon of reason and good hair, has vehemently denied Trump's claims. He assures the world that Canada is not about to become America's hat. He's right, of course. Canadians are proud, independent people. They love their country, their healthcare, and their ability to say A without being mocked. Polls show that Canadians overwhelmingly reject the idea of joining the US. They see the chaos, the division, the endless political circus south of the border, and they want no part of it. They enjoy their peace and quiet, thank you very much. But denial alone won't save Canada. Trump is a man who doesn't take no for an answer. He's like that guy at the bar who keeps hitting on you even after you've told him you're married, and his idea of courtship is a bit aggressive. We need to understand the danger here, folks. Trump's annexation talk isn't just bluster, it's a threat, pure and simple. Let's be clear. The United States has a long and uncomfortable history with expansionism. From the early days of the 13 colonies, the idea of expanding territory has been deeply ingrained in the American psyche. This notion wasn't just about land, it was about power, resources, and a sense of destiny. We've snatched land from our neighbors before. Remember the Mexican-American War? It was a conflict driven by the desire to expand the nation's borders, fueled by the belief that it was America's right to do so. We took a big chunk of Mexico just because we could. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848 saw Mexico cede nearly half of its territory to the United States, including present-day California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. Let's not forget manifest destiny, the belief that America had a God-given right to spread from sea to shining sea. This ideology justified the westward expansion and the displacement of countless Native American tribes. And who can forget the countless treaties broken and promises made to indigenous people? The Trail of Tears, the forced relocations, and the systemic efforts to erase native cultures are dark chapters in our history. Even our relationship with Canada isn't exactly spotless. While we often think of Canada as our friendly neighbor to the north, history tells a more complicated story. We invaded them during the Revolutionary War. American forces attempted to bring the Canadian territories into the fold, but these efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. And then there was the War of 1812. This conflict saw American forces once again attempting to invade Canada, leading to a series of battles that left both sides with heavy losses. We even had a detailed plan to invade Canada in the 1930s called War Plan Red. This plan, developed by the U.S. military, outlined strategies for a potential conflict with the British Empire, which included Canada. It's like we have a hard time resisting the urge to mess with our northern neighbors. Despite the peaceful relations we enjoy today, the past is filled with moments of tension and conflict. Now Trump wants to dust off that old playbook. His rhetoric and actions suggest a return to the aggressive expansionist policies of the past. He sees Canada's resources, their strategic location, and he thinks, I want that. The vast forests, the rich oil fields, and the abundant water reservoirs are all tempting targets for someone with an expansionist mindset. He doesn't care about the people, their culture, their history. To him, it's all about what can be gained, what can be taken. He just sees another trophy to add to his collection, another feather in his cap, another conquest to boast about. This is a dangerous game Trump is playing. The implications of such actions could be far-reaching, affecting not just the United States and Canada, but the entire world. He's invoking the ghosts of American imperialism, the same ghosts that have haunted our history books and shaped our national identity, and the world is watching, wondering if we've learned anything from our past mistakes. The eyes of the international community are on us, scrutinizing our actions and questioning our motives. Section 4. Military might. Can Canada withstand the pressure? Let's not sugarcoat it, folks. The United States military could crush Canada's like a bug. We have more tanks, more planes, more soldiers. We could roll into Ottawa and declare victory before you could say syrup. But here's the thing. A military invasion is messy, it's costly, and it would turn the United States into a global pariah. Plus, there's that whole NATO thing. Canada is a member of NATO, and an attack on one is an attack on all. Of course, Trump could always pull out of NATO. He loves to break up with alliances, but that would only make things worse. So while a full-scale invasion is unlikely, Trump has other options. He could use economic pressure, cyber attacks, or even good old-fashioned propaganda to destabilize Canada. He's a master of chaos, remember? Section 5. Economic warfare. Trump's weaponization of trade. Trump loves to talk tough on trade. His speeches are filled with bold declarations and promises to put America first. He often emphasizes the need to renegotiate trade deals and impose tariffs to protect American jobs and industries. He throws around tariffs like confetti at a parade. These tariffs are not just numbers on a page, they have real-world consequences. They affect businesses, consumers, and entire economies. And Canada is a prime target. Our northern neighbor has been in Trump's crosshairs since the beginning of his presidency. He's already threatened them with a 25% tariff on everything from maple syrup to hockey sticks. These are not just random products, they are symbols of Canadian culture and economy. And that's just the beginning. Trump's strategy goes beyond tariffs. He has a range of economic weapons at his disposal. Trump could cut off access to United States markets. He could impose sanctions. These actions would have a devastating impact on the Canadian economy, leading to job losses and economic instability. He could even freeze Canadian assets. This would create financial chaos and uncertainty, making it difficult for Canadian businesses to operate. He's already done it to other countries, so why not Canada? Trump's administration has a track record of using economic measures to achieve political goals. The goal? To cripple the Canadian economy, sow discord among the provinces, and make Canadians so desperate that they beg to be annexed. This is not just about trade, it's about power and control. It's a classic bully tactic. Trump uses intimidation and economic pressure to get what he wants. But here's the thing. Canada is no pushover. They have a strong and resilient economy. They have a diversified economy, strong trading relationships with other countries, and a whole lot of natural resources that the United States needs. Canada is a major player in the global economy, and they have allies who would support them in a trade war. This trade war would hurt both sides, but Trump doesn't care. He is willing to take risks and make bold moves even if it means causing economic pain. He's willing to inflict pain if it means getting what he wants. For Trump, it's all about winning and showing strength, and what he wants is Canada. This is not just about trade, it's about expanding influence and control. Trump's weaponization of trade is a dangerous game, and the stakes are high for both countries.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.